Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys this delicious red velvet cake pop dough. As you guys know, red velvet has a little bit more of a tangy flavor, so we're going to be using buttermilk to achieve that. But since I didn't have buttermilk, I'm going to make my own. This is just 1 cup of milk. I warmed it up for 30 seconds. I removed 1 tablespoon of the milk and added 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Now I'm going to mix this very well. We're going to set this aside for 5 to 10 minutes. If you guys make this Betty Crocker cake just as it is, it's going to be a little bit bland. That's why we're doctoring it and adding more things to make it more delicious. So we're going to start off with 3 eggs. To this, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla. I'm using the Mexican vanilla. I'm also going to be adding 2 tablespoons of sugar. And since it is red velvet, we're going to add a little bit of cocoa powder. So I'm adding 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. We want this to be a little bit chocolatey and tangy. Now instead of butter, we're gonna do half a cup of sour cream. Make sure that your ingredients are at room temperature. And like I said, I'm using the Betty Crocker red velvet cake mix. I always like to start with the wet ingredients first. That's why I add the eggs first and make sure that there's no shells in there. Now right here, this is what my buttermilk looks like. We're gonna add this to our mixture. If you guys have buttermilk at home, it'll be better, but since I don't, I'm just gonna use this. I'm also gonna be adding a tiny bit of red food coloring. And now we're gonna mix this very well. Make sure that you guys are scraping the sides of your bowl so everything is incorporated. I start in a low setting and then clean my bowl, and then I'll go to a 6 until everything is well combined. I love how the food coloring makes this a deep red, and since I'm doing some Valentine's Day cake pops, I wanted it to be a beautiful color. Right here, I'm gonna mix at a 6, and while that's mixing, we're gonna start covering our cake pan in parchment paper. You guys can line your pans and then spray the sides, or you guys can use cake release, but I like using the parchment paper because it's just way easier to clean. Just make sure that you're cutting all the excess parchment paper on top so it doesn't catch on fire. Once our cake mix is ready, we're gonna add this to our pan. We're gonna bake this at 350 Fahrenheit for 30 to 35 minutes. This is a 9-inch cake pan. Sometimes people ask me that. This is such a beautiful color, and I'm gonna be leaving all the ingredients on the description. So if you guys need the recipe written down, it's gonna be down below. So once this is baked, this is what it looks like. It is so beautiful. I usually cover my cake right out of the oven because I usually don't use a binder to make my cake pop dough. But in this case, we're gonna be adding some cream cheese frosting. So we're not gonna be waiting. We're gonna add this cake straight to our mixer. It is piping hot, and we're gonna be using the paddle attachment to mix this. Like I said, we're going to be adding some frosting. I am using this Betty Crocker cream cheese because what is red velvet without cream cheese? I think I used about 1/4 cup of cream cheese. If you can't eyeball it, start small and then keep adding until you get the right texture. But right here, I'm going to be mixing for a couple minutes. I'm not going to be cutting any of this because I want you guys to see how it comes together. I start at a slow speed and then I bump it up to a 6 or an 8 until everything is well combined. While this is mixing, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about chocolate. I don't really sell, so I like to use almond bark because it's inexpensive. And I guess it's fine if you're a beginner, but if you're a baker and you want the best cake pops, then I would recommend you guys investing in some delicious chocolate. I really recommend Merkin's chocolate. It's delicious, and you can buy it in bulk. That's what I did when I was selling. And then I got all the colors from Color Mill, and it was amazing, you guys. It made things so easy for me. Anyway, so now my cake pop dough is done. It is warm, so we're just gonna cover this, and then once it comes to room temperature, we're gonna put it in the fridge. Right here, I wanted to weigh it for you guys. I got about 30 ounces of cake pop dough. Remember that my cake pops are always 1 ounce, so you get about 30 cake pops in total. Right here, I just want to quickly show you guys how the cake pop dough is. It doesn't crack. It's delicious. I tried making some balloon cake pops for Valentine's Day, and I'll be showing you guys that tutorial in another video because I want to go into a detail. But this is what the cake pop dough looks like. It is a deep red. It is so beautiful, so delicious. And this is almond bark, but like I said, invest in good chocolate and it'll be more delicious. These cake pops turned out so cute, you guys. So make sure that you guys are following me and subscribing to my channel so you guys don't miss this tutorial. They're perfect for Valentine's Day. It's super cute. I ended up adding a little red bow to each cake pop. And this will be on my next tutorial, so make sure that you're following me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below, but I'll see you guys on the next one.